And welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Before we get into today's episode, please do me a small favour. If you are watching the channel for the first time today, make sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and give the video a like. Let's try and see 1,000 likes on this episode. On the video today, we're going to be talking about Carlos Baleba. We're going to be talking about Rasmus Hojlund, who could be off to AC Milan. We're going to be talking about Sancho. We're going to be talking about Garnacho, and we're also going to be talking about the goalkeeper position. But before we do all that, I want to get a bit of conversation going with you, the Manchester United fan base. I want to know, obviously, Sesko's through the door, Cunha's through the door, and Bumo's through the door. But who should be the next signing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Should it be Carlos Baleba? Should it be a goalkeeper? Should it be a wing back? Who should it be? Let me know your thoughts. Yeah, very interested to see what you guys all have to say on this one. Who should be Manchester United's next signing? Right, we're going to start off by talking a little bit about something I mean, it is football related, but not transfer related. That's what I mean. We're going to talk about the new training ground. Has everyone seen the new training ground that was revealed yesterday? The new Carrington. It looks absolutely amazing. Fair play to them. I was loving the content that Manchester United put out yesterday around, this unveiling of the new training ground. The players were there. Sir Alex was there. It was really, really nice to see. And I think, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but it does feel like we are going in the right direction somewhat. When you think that it was only maybe 18 months ago, 2 years ago, that you had Ronaldo doing an interview with Piers Morgan saying that the training facilities hadn't changed in 15 years and that the swimming pool wasn't safe and all of these things, do you remember that interview? He was saying that the training facilities, the gym equipment was exactly the same as it was 15 years ago and nothing had been updated. And, and everyone was sat there thinking, like, how have they let this club, this beautiful club that we all love, rot this badly? And that was a pretty common thought process for most of the Man United fan base. And I know we still do feel like that, and a new training ground isn't going to solve that overnight, but it is baby steps in the right direction. And I think, when you see our new training facilities, it is state of the art. It's got, I even saw they had an MRI scanner in there, which is that's quite mad. And everything's been carefully curated to get the best out of the players. So hopefully it works. I mean, if we're rubbish again this season, then a new training ground clearly made no difference. But I do think it does make a difference. If you think about this in your everyday life, right? Imagine you have this horrible office where you have to go and work every day and it's all mouldy and none of the machines work. The printers don't work. The computers are really old and your boss is expecting for you to get good results out of your performance at work, yeah? It's probably going to be unlikely, isn't it? Because all of the equipment that you're using isn't working properly, and the environment you're in isn't very nice, and all the rest of it. And that does affect people day to day. And I know people will say, "Oh, well, they're professional footballers. They earn 300 grand a week. I don't care whether the gym equipment's old." But at the end of the day, these people are all humans. And I'm not justifying finishing 15th, by the way. I'm just trying to look at it from a more level-headed angle. So realistically, they have no excuses now. They have all of the tools in front of them. They have state-of-the-art training facilities as good as any others in the Premier League, if not anywhere in the world. It looks absolutely beautiful. They have everything they need there and more. So there's no excuses now. There's no the training facilities aren't good enough. Oh, this, that, and the other. They've literally been given the best. And it looks like the best. It looks absolutely breathtaking, right? So fair play to Jim Ratcliffe Ineos on delivering that. You have to give them some props for that because that is absolutely amazing what they've done with that, with the new Carrington. And even how they kind of, uploaded all the videos yesterday. So we got a bit of a walkthrough of the place and we could see what it looked like, get the flow of it, with it all explained to us. I think that is important and it is great to see a little bit more communication. Now, I know that wasn't specifically for the fans. It was more probably for the media and for the wider world, but still, it was put out there on YouTube. And I really enjoyed watching that last night and to see how our players will effectively live their days in these training facilities. But so that's really, really positive. Obviously, for the last 12 months, it's been a bit of a mess, let's say, in relation to the training facilities. They've been having to use the under-21s facilities, I think, whilst Carrington was being redeveloped. So it has probably been a little bit all over the place. Maybe that has some partial impact on the results and on the season last year. Maybe. Hopefully it is just that. Hopefully this season, new training facilities, new signings, getting rid of all the players who are toxic. Hopefully we're back to, I'm not saying we're going to win the league, obviously, but hopefully we're back to kind of where we were like challenging for top four. That would be great. And maybe it was just a case of too many bad people in the dressing room, the Sanchos, the Rashfords, the Garnachos, etc., and the case of, a bad environment that our players were having to work under. Hopefully it is just that. Hopefully it was just a blip. Hopefully it is just a freak kind of season in our history, because there really is no excuses now, in my opinion. And I think, and that goes for Ruben Amorim as well. Like, I'm not saying sack Ruben Amorim. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying that Ruben Amorim's been given state-of-the-art training facilities, the best in class there, and he's been given 3 signings in attack. We still need a midfielder, don't get me wrong, and we still need a goalkeeper. But if Ineos do deliver those 2 signings, a midfielder and a goalkeeper, I don't think there's any excuses, realistically, because everything is in place there. You've got rid of the toxic players. They've been completely banished, Remember, under the Glazers, Rashford, Sancho, Garnacho and Antony would be in training. They would have gone on the pre-season tour because the Glazers would say they are assets that belong to Manchester United. If we banish them, it devalues them as assets, and effectively the players win. The players can behave however they like, and they still will be allowed to come back. That's what always used to happen at this club, and you know it as well as I do. So, I think this is very, very positive. I think this is really, really, great that we are moving things in the right direction. But yeah, how does everyone feel about this? I assume you guys all saw the videos yesterday with the Carrington. If not, go and check it out on YouTube. It's really, really impressive. And I'm excited to see, hopefully a better season this year, because there's no excuses. They've, in my opinion, they've got state-of-the-art facilities there now. They've got everything they need, and there is zero excuses. We can't be blaming the Glazers, if we finish 15th again next season. I'm sorry, we can't. Obviously, the Glazers are at fault for 99% of the failures at Manchester United, don't get me wrong. But going into this next year, we've got rid of the toxic players. We've banished them. We've given the players a brand new facility, and we've brought in 3, not world-class, but very, very good attacking players, 2 Premier League proven players and 1 great striker in Sesko. So there's no excuses. But anyway, obviously we've got a game today as well, chat. We've got a game against Fiorentina. Obviously we're expecting Benjamin Sesko to be unveiled. We're expecting Cunha to be unveiled and Mbumo to be unveiled, obviously to the home fans, which is great. Really, really excited to see that. Really excited to see these players out on the pitch. Obviously, Sesko's not going to play. He only signed, I think, yesterday, and it hasn't even been made official yet. Like, it is official, but it's not like, been announced. Unless I've missed it. I don't think it's been announced, has it, Sesko? As in, like, properly announced. I don't mean like Fabrizio. I mean, Manchester United haven't posted, have they? Or have I missed it? No, yesterday was all about Carrington. So it'll be today. Will be like the deal has been completed kind of thing. I'm really, really excited about this. I am actually away today. I'm in London today, so I'm probably not going to be able to watch it. But I'll be keeping a track on my phone of the score, etc. Let's move on from there. Let's talk about Carlos Baleba then, shall we? Just a quick one. Everyone who has just joined the video, if you can do me a small favour, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. We've got over 600 people watching live right now, but there is only 92 likes on this video. The more people that like the video, the more that YouTube will show it to others. So if you haven't already, please do hit that like button. Let's try and get to 1,000 by the end of today's stream. And if you are new around here, please do subscribe as well. We're so close to 44,000, so please go and subscribe and let's get to that next milestone. But moving back over to transfers, let's start on Rasmus Hojlund. So there's a news story this morning coming out from Matteo Moretto, who is an Italian journalist who works very closely with Fabrizio Romano. I would say he's tier 1, this guy. He's very, very reliable. And he is reporting this morning that AC Milan are working on a deal to sign Rasmus Hojlund on loan with a buy option. He says that the loan fee would be around 5 to 6 million euros with a buy option of 35 to 45 million euros. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I'm going to do a poll. As always, I like to see what the chat are saying. Would you loan out Hojlund or keep him? I don't think we're going to sell him, so I'm not going to give an option to sell, because I think, like, we all want things in life, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. So in this instance, I'm just going to do the 2 options as loan or keep, because I think at the moment there doesn't really seem to be an option to sell. So it's pointless me saying sell on the poll and then everyone says sell and then we don't sell, and it's just a stupid point. It's pointless. So in relation to this story that's out this morning from a tier 1 source in Italy, AC Milan in talks with United for Rasmus Hojlund. They are offering a loan deal with a buy option, emphasis on the word option, i.e. not an obligation to buy, it would be an option to buy, so they could effectively decide whether they wanted to make the deal permanent or not. The loan fee being 5 to 6 million euros, which is what, £4 million roughly? Let's have a look. 4.3 million to 5.2 million. So just say 4 to 5 million pounds loan fee, and then an option to buy next summer for 35 to 45 million euros, which is 30 million pounds or 40 million pounds. I mean, I don't think that sounds very good, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think that's good. If they were going to offer us 45 million euros now to take him on a permanent, I think you have to consider that, because that money then goes towards Carlos Baleba. It goes towards potentially Donnarumma. And, you know, we do have some options in the attacking areas that could also play as a striker. We've got Chido Obi. Obviously, Cunha's played as a number 9 before, and Mbumo's played as a number 9. I mean, even Bruno can play as a false 9 if worse comes to worse. But, yeah, I just don't really see why we would weaken ourselves and only receive £4 million in loan fee. Like, that probably just covers his wages, no? Let's have a look. I mean, does that even cover his wages? Let's have a look. Hojlund's wages per year. Yeah, his wages are literally that. So AC Milan are effectively just offering to pay Rasmus's wages for 12 months, which, I mean, I don't really see why we would do that. You know, we lose a striker and all we get from it is £4 million. And then next summer, if he does badly at AC Milan, they send him back anyway. And he's probably worth even less money than he is now. So for me, if it's between loan or keep, I would definitely keep him. I think, I think keeping him would make the most sense in this current instance. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do loan him. You know, is he actually going to get game time at Manchester United? That's the big question. I just don't think it's a very good deal. And I would much rather keep Rasmus. I don't think we're at a point where we're kind of like desperate to get rid of him. I mean, when you look at the striker market as well, right? There's teams like Newcastle who need a striker. Yeah? I mean, this is just pure speculation. I'm just like, you know, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm just saying, when there's teams like in the Premier League who need a striker, if we want to sell Hojlund, why are we not offering to him to Newcastle? You know? I don't know. I just don't really get it. Why would we loan him out to Italy? Just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I wouldn't do this deal. I would keep Hojlund. I would rather keep him for one more season and kind of have him as a backup to Sesko and hope that the competition gets him really, really fired up and he starts performing. Then I would send him to AC Milan. Because the thing is, right, ever since the situation with Sancho going to I nearly said Sancho going to Real Madrid. Ever since the situation with Sancho going to AC Milan... Oh, mate, my brain's not working today. Ever since the situation with Sancho going to Chelsea and we're told that we're never going to see him again, that's it, he's gone, goodbye Sancho. And then 12 months later they send him back, even though there was an obligation to buy. I'm like, I don't buy into this anymore. I don't buy into this whole thing of we're going to loan a player out and then... They always just end up coming back, is my point, you know? So I just don't think that in 12 months' time, you know, yeah, I just think it won't happen. So I'm going to say no. I think in 12 months' time, they'll send him back and we'll still have him. So I would much rather keep Rasmus, give him another chance, see if we can get something out of him. If we can't, then fine. Someone says your hair looks the same in every video. Do you cut it every day? Every other day, my friend. I wasn't expecting to have this conversation today. But yeah, every other day. Thank you for noticing. But yeah, you can let me know. At the moment, we've had 300 votes in the poll. 51% of you said that you would keep Hojlund, and 49% of you said that you'd loan him. Wow. So it's 50-50. I would say this, though. If we loaned out Hojlund and we could bring in a replacement, I would probably do that. But that's probably not going to happen, realistically. So if someone said to me, right, we could loan out Rasmus and we could bring in, say, I don't know, an experienced striker as a free agent, I would probably do that. Or an experienced striker on loan, I would probably do that. If the plan was for Hojlund to go and develop elsewhere and then come back in 12 months, I think that would make a lot of sense. But from what I'm reading, that doesn't really seem to be what the situation is here. I mean, this is a good question. James says, is Joshua Zirkzee ahead of Hojlund at the moment? Probably. I think Zirkzee definitely has a future in this team. I honestly do. I think Zirkzee offers a lot of what we don't have, if that makes sense. Whereas Hojlund doesn't really. Like, Xerxes a multifunctional player. He's good on the ball. He's good at linking up play. He's a very intelligent player. I don't think Hojlund's a particularly intelligent player, and he's not particularly clinical in front of goal at the moment. I think he could be clinical in front of goal, but for whatever reason, whether it's his confidence, whether it's... I don't know, but I don't think he's that intelligent of a footballer. Whereas I do feel like Xerxes is intelligent football ability-wise. But you can let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comment section. We're now going to talk about Carlos Baleba because we have a bit of an update here from Fabrizio, which we're going to bring you. So Fabrizio's reporting this morning that Brighton are demanding a very big fee to sell Carlos Baleba. It says he is a player loved by Ruben Amorim. United remains actively in contact with Brighton and his agent. He goes on to say that United still maintain direct contact with the agents of Carlos Baleba. They believe a deal is complicated at the moment. I mean, it's complicated because they want so much money. I honestly feel, though, in 12 months' time, he'll be a £100 million player. I honestly think that. And if we don't get him now, I can see another top club going for him. I could see a Chelsea going for him. I could see an Arsenal going for him. Maybe even someone outside of England. He's literally just turned 21. He's versatile. He can play as a defensive midfielder, a central midfielder, and he's even played as a centre-back as well before. So he's very, very versatile. He's only got 3 years left on his contract, which tells me that 3 years is quite a lot at the moment. But obviously next summer, he'll only have 2 left, which, then starts to... I mean, it's still 2 years is a long time, but it does start to get to that period where they're like, right, we either sell him now for maximum money or he keeps running down his contract. I would love for this deal to happen. I think if we could get him from anywhere from 60 to 80 million pounds, I think that would be a good deal. They're asking for 120 million euros, which I think is ridiculous, to be honest. But, at the same time, 120 million euros I think is too much, personally. But I wouldn't be surprised if in 12 months he is worth that money. Moises Caicedo went to Chelsea for about 120 million euros, roughly, give or take. He was the same age, played in the same position, and had a relatively similar impact in the Premier League as what Carlos Baleba had. So I can understand why they've put this price tag on him, and I can understand why a team like Brighton, who've got an amazing track record of maximising every single penny out of their players, are asking for 120 million. So it's not unrealistic. It's just whether Manchester United, one, have the money to do it, and two, we hear this story from Ineos all the time now that they don't want to feel like they're being mugged off in the market or overpaying. And I do feel like 120 million euros at the moment is overpaying. And I do feel like 120 million euros is probably not a fee that Manchester United would get to. So if you want my honest opinion on this, this is not what I want to happen. I would love to wake up tomorrow and Carlos Baleba be a Manchester United player, right? I would love that. But I think in reality, he'll probably stay at Brighton for one more season, I think. Again, this is just my opinion. Hopefully I'm wrong. I feel like he'll probably stay at Brighton one more year. And then maybe next summer, he'll probably leave. Again, hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully he signs for Manchester United tomorrow and he's, a new signing. But yeah, I don't know. It's difficult. I guess as well, we have to think it all depends on who leaves the club. So, if Garnacho goes to Chelsea for 50 million, Sancho leaves for 15 million, Anthony leaves for 30 million, etc., etc., maybe then that deal becomes possible. But I think at the moment, we're still trying to get these players out of the club. And we haven't really done any outgoings other than Rashford. Apart from Rashford, Eriksen and Lindelof, we've not really got rid of anyone, have we? Johnny Evans went, obviously. But, 3 of those players were free agents. So, I wouldn't really say that we got rid of them. They just left because their contracts expired. So it's not really the same, is it? So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think if we could get this one over the line, I'd be very, very happy. I think he's an absolutely phenomenal player, an incredible talent, and somebody that I would love to see at Manchester United, and he would completely transform our midfield. So yeah, fingers and toes crossed that we can get this one done. But obviously, as I said, in my opinion, I think it will probably be one for next summer, just because of the money involved and just because of how difficult Brighton are to do business with. But I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. I've got a really busy day today. I'm going to London. I will be back tomorrow. But I want to thank everybody for all of the support you've been showing over the last few weeks. It's been an absolutely incredible couple of streams. So, yeah, thank you so much, everybody. I do really, really appreciate all your support. I will be back live tomorrow. There won't be any more videos today because I'm literally not going to get back from London till about midnight. So, yeah, I hope you all have an amazing day, everybody. Please do make sure to subscribe if you are new around here. Be sure to like the video as well, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye for now.